Hello, everyone. Um, so we're going to go over chapter 15, page 384 in your textbook. So chapter 15 is changes and claims. Okay, let's get started. So what is a claim? A claim is a request by a contractor for additional compensation or time extension for occurrences beyond the contractor's control, including differing or unexpected site conditions, change in the scope or delays caused by the owner. So basically, it's not the fault of the contractor, it's the owner. The contract documents said they were going to have one set of site conditions. They go out there, they discover different site conditions. Contract documents show the contractor this is going to be your scope of work. The scope of work has now changed. Um, can become a claim. Delays caused by the owner as well. Can become a claim as well. So owner has duty to provide adequate, accurate data to the bidders. So the claims are generally made by the parties due to or all of the following situations. So they can come after you for entitlement for fulfillment of one party to an obligation under the terms of the agreement, entitlement to additional funds, entitlement to recovery of incurred costs, entitlement for extension of time, and entitlement against additional payments due to legal proceedings. So the owner is liable to the contractor when inaccurate data is given, extras develop because of improper design, and design is significantly changed after the contract is signed. A constructive change has occurred. The contractor must prove entitlement and the associated damages, and the contractor must provide timely notice of a claim upon discovering it. So, if they see something wrong right away, they captured it, they should right away send the owner a claim, and it should never be something that they just drag out and they want to hold it against the owner for later negotiating, bargaining type of systems that they want to have later on. Hold some hold something against the owner. They can't do that. So if they see something that isn't in the contract documents or something has changed from the original proposal, they have to go ahead and let the owner know about it. So what are the different types of claims? So you have a delay claim. That's just basically what it says. If there's something delaying the contractor from proceeding, they can submit a claim. Extra work claim that was not called for in the scope of work, um, entitled to a claim or a possibility of claim. Acceleration, accelerating the work. Impossibility of a performance claim. Defective design claim, an error or omission. Interference claim. Superior knowledge claim. So interference claim is going to be something where some say other agency comes into the mix, they start doing work around that areas, or other contractors are awarded contracts simultaneously with your contract, and that wasn't really part of the agreement. They said that you were going to be the only contractor in the vicinity, and now you have other so you could file an interference claim. Superior knowledge claim is the owner knows something that you did not know of, whether in the bidding process or later on in the construction once it's underway, and they're holding that information away from the contractor. The contractor can come back and say, "Hey, listen, you should have brought this up now. Now this cost me so much more energy and so much time, so much more time, so much more money," and they can submit a superior knowledge claim. So there's many different types of claims out there. So if you're going to do any changes in plans and specifications, um, just going to touch a little bit on this. So clarifications, corrections, modifications prior to bid, and we went over this, are referred to as addendas, right, or addendums. So the owner must maintain a system of distributing and acknowledging receipt of addendums. So when the documents are going out for bid, if there's any changes being done during that bid phase, they're going to be processing these addendums to the contractor, and they have to acknowledge receipt of it. So the contractor has to say, yes, we have received this change that you are providing to us, and we will take acknowledgement of this change, and we will proceed to uh, submit to you a cost proposal with these latest changes. So that's that's going to be during the bid phase. So now plans and specs that change after award are referred to as revisions. And generally, those revisions will require some type of issuance of a change order. So now we're going to jump in from claims and we're going to transfer to change order. So, well, before we do that, we're not going to transfer to change order. We're going to actually stick on claims. Sorry about that. So, claim avoidance. How can you now avoid a claim? So, avoiding a claim. So, producing comprehensive, accurate contract documents, um, constructability review, clear understanding of contract requirements prior to bidding, having good administrative procedures in place, open and honest communication, and timely troubleshooting. I don't believe we went over what constructability review is. Constructability review starts during the design phase, and the designer, the quality control, quality assurance design team is gonna look and make sure that the design documents can be basically the construction work out there can be produced as what they're showing on these plans. Do they have enough? Does this configuration of what they're trying to put together, trying to build, going to make sense? We have to go through that constructability review. Can this actually be constructed, right? So that's what's constructability review. So the more you look at these drawings and everything's starting to make sense to you, that everything's coming into order. You have materials. You have the proper equipment. You have the right labor force. You have all that put together. You have the proper procedures, and you know that this can be constructed. Then you shouldn't really have any claims coming to you. That should limit the amount of claims you have. And every other one of these bullets, I believe, is self-explanatory. So continuing on, claim avoidance begins in the pre-construction phase of a project, or I would say in a design phase as well. Design phase is going to fall into pre-construction. So contract documents need to be clear, accurate, comprehensive, and fairly distribute all of the risk. Right? We mentioned previous class that we have a risk assessment. I touched a little bit on it when I was trying to compare it, I believe, to something else. But you want the contract documents to distribute certain risks on a project to certain parties. So you just don't want to dump everything to the contractor. If somebody else is better equipped to handle that risk on this project, then it should be depicted and written in the contract documents. So now we're gonna jump into change order. So change order starts on page 389 in your textbook, and so I believe we have two different definitions. Not yeah, there's kind of two different definitions. So uh, here in the PowerPoint, a change order is a written order issued by the owner to the contractor for a change to the contract within the scope of work. So change orders are written for the extra work, increases or decreasing in contract quantities, and any alterations. So change orders state the basis and amount of payment and time extensions. So your change orders are going to have your amount included in there, and it's going to have if any time extensions should be given to this change order. And your textbook on 389 says a change order is an adjustment to contract amount and or contract duration approved, accepted, and signed by the owner, architect, and contractor. And on page 390, it says the change order process. Under the change order process is a change order can be defined as a specific document signed by the contractor and owner that authorizes addition, deletion, or revision in the scope of work. So here we have a change order example I pulled up from the internet. So here we're upgrading to 5.25 inch cove moldings. Um, so right here we see we agree hereby to make a change specified above at this price. So we're changing it in $100. So it went from previous contract amount 600. So now revised contract total is 700. Now this change order doesn't really tell us why. Um, it doesn't tell us why this is happening. What's the reason behind it? In most cases, your change order is going to say, why are we changing something from the original contract documents, contract specs, and the scope of work, like what has really changed. Here, just saying that we are changing it. So that's it, plain and simple. So let's look at a better examples on page 393 of your textbook. So here we have a change order proposal.